You check your blood sugar before bed. It looks fine. You eat nothing during the night. You sleep. And yet when you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is significantly higher than when you went to sleep. If this has happened to you, you are not imagining it, and you are certainly not alone. Millions of adults over 60 wake up to blood sugar readings that make no sense. No food, no drinks, just sleep. And somehow, the numbers are worse. In the next few minutes, doctors explain exactly why this happens inside your body after 60, what it means for your long-term health, and the simple steps that may help bring those numbers back under control. The most common reason blood sugar rises overnight after 60 is a biological process called the dawn phenomenon. Here's what happens. In the early morning hours, typically between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m., your body begins preparing to wake up. As part of this process, it releases a surge of hormones, including cortisol, growth hormone, glucagon, and adrenaline. These are called counter-regulatory hormones, and their job is to give your body energy to start the day. One of the ways they do this is by signaling your liver to release stored glucose into the bloodstream. In a younger, healthy metabolism, insulin quickly manages this glucose release and keeps blood sugar stable. But after 60, when insulin sensitivity has declined, this morning hormone surge can push blood sugar significantly higher, even though you have eaten absolutely nothing during the night. The dawn phenomenon affects adults of all ages. So why does it become so much more significant after 60? The answer lies in two compounding biological changes that occur with age. First, insulin resistance increases. After 60, the body's cells become progressively less responsive to insulin's signal. This means that when the liver releases glucose in the early morning, there is not enough effective insulin activity to manage it efficiently. The glucose accumulates in the bloodstream rather than being absorbed by cells. Second, the liver itself becomes more active in releasing glucose overnight in older adults. Research suggests that with age, the liver's glucose output during the night increases, partly due to hormonal changes, partly due to reduced muscle mass, which would otherwise absorb excess glucose. The result is that the same dawn phenomenon that causes a mild and manageable blood sugar rise in a 35-year-old can cause a significant and concerning rise in a 65-year-old. There is a second, less well-known cause of nighttime blood sugar spikes, and it works in a completely different way. It is called the Somogyi Effect, and it is a rebound mechanism. Here's what happens. In some adults, particularly those taking insulin or certain diabetes medications, blood sugar drops too low during the night, a condition called nocturnal hypoglycemia. The body senses this dangerous drop and responds by releasing emergency hormones, glucagon, cortisol, and adrenaline, to rapidly raise blood sugar back to safe levels. But this emergency response often overshoots dramatically, pushing blood sugar far higher than it needs to go. The result is a significant blood sugar spike by morning, even though the person went to sleep with normal readings. Many people with this pattern wake up feeling unwell, sweaty, or with a headache, without understanding why. Distinguishing between the dawn phenomenon and the Somogyi effect requires checking blood sugar between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., something your doctor can help you do. Beyond the biological mechanisms, certain evening habits can dramatically worsen nighttime blood sugar spikes after 60. The first is eating a late, carbohydrate-heavy dinner. When you eat a large meal rich in refined carbohydrates, bread, pasta, rice, or sugary foods close to bedtime, your body is still processing and releasing glucose from that meal hours later while you sleep, compounding the dawn phenomenon effect. The second is poor sleep quality. Research consistently shows that even a single night of poor sleep increases insulin resistance the following day and during that same night. Adults over 60 who experience frequent nighttime waking, sleep apnea, or simply shorter sleep duration show significantly worse overnight glucose regulation than those who sleep well. The third is evening stress. High cortisol from stress before bed primes your liver to release more glucose overnight, directly worsening the dawn phenomenon before sleep even begins. Why does it matter if blood sugar spikes overnight? After all, you are asleep. You cannot feel it, but your body can. Research consistently shows that repeated overnight blood sugar spikes, even in people who are not diagnosed with diabetes, are associated with a significantly elevated risk of developing type 2 diabetes over time. Beyond diabetes risk, chronically elevated nighttime blood sugar damages blood vessel walls, promotes inflammation throughout the body, and is associated with increased cardiovascular disease risk. It also disrupts the quality of deep sleep because high blood sugar at night is associated with more frequent nighttime waking, less restorative sleep, and greater fatigue the following morning. For adults over 60, where both cardiovascular risk and metabolic risk are already elevated, the overnight blood sugar picture is one that doctors say deserves real attention, not just the fasting reading you get in the morning.
Now the most important question. What can you actually do about overnight blood sugar spikes after 60? Doctors and diabetes researchers point to 4 evening habits that may significantly help. First, eat dinner earlier and lighter. Finishing your evening meal at least 3 hours before sleep gives your body time to process the glucose from that meal before you go to bed. Choosing lower carbohydrate options for dinner, more protein, more vegetables, less bread and pasta, reduces the glucose load your body carries into sleep. Second, take a short walk after dinner. Research consistently shows that even 10 to 15 minutes of light walking after a meal can significantly reduce post-meal blood sugar levels by helping muscles absorb glucose directly. This is one of the most powerful and accessible tools available. Third, prioritize sleep quality. Addressing sleep issues, whether through better sleep hygiene, speaking to a doctor about sleep apnea, or managing evening stress, directly improves overnight glucose regulation. If you are consistently waking up with blood sugar readings that are significantly higher than your bedtime readings, doctors say this pattern deserves a direct conversation with your healthcare provider. A continuous glucose monitor, a small sensor worn on the arm that tracks blood sugar every few minutes throughout the night, is now widely available and provides the clearest picture of exactly what is happening to your blood sugar while you sleep. Your doctor can also help distinguish between the dawn phenomenon and the Somogyi effect by reviewing your overnight glucose patterns. For adults over 60 with existing diabetes, adjustments to medication timing or dosage may significantly reduce overnight spikes. For those without a diabetes diagnosis, a fasting glucose test and HbA1c blood test can reveal whether your overnight patterns are moving you toward prediabetes, while there is still a meaningful window to act. Here is what we know. After 60, blood sugar commonly rises during the night, even without eating, driven by 2 main mechanisms. The dawn phenomenon, where early morning hormones signal the liver to release glucose into a bloodstream that can no longer manage it efficiently. And the Somogyi effect, where a nighttime blood sugar drop triggers an overcorrection that pushes levels too high by morning. Poor sleep, late dinners, evening stress, and increased insulin resistance all make these patterns worse. But eating dinner earlier and lighter, taking a short walk after meals, and improving sleep quality are 3 evidence-based habits that may meaningfully reduce overnight spikes. And if you are consistently waking up to high readings, speak to your doctor. Your blood sugar does not have to be a mystery. Subscribe to Anatomy Visual Lab. Every week, we explain what is happening inside your body, clearly, accurately, and without the confusion.